Hey, Dan Meyer here, and I'm back once again with a new playlist for you called Navigating the VA Landscape. And the idea behind these set of videos is that I'm going to talk to people that are Filipino virtual assistants and find from them what it's like to be a VA right now, especially a Filipino VA in this hyper-competitive marketplace where everything seems to be harder than it used to be. I'm also going to talk to a lot of people that are like you as American small business owners. If you're trying to launch a business or grow your business, even if you had VAs in the past, what are some trends you need to know about now that are going to help you be more successful? So the idea is that things have changed, right? So during the pandemic, everyone was hiring virtual assistants. Everybody was trying to grow their business online. Everyone was really trying to invest heavily in social media and create a lot of content. And it worked for a while, but it stopped working. In the last year or so, I've seen a lot of people get frustrated. A lot of virtual assistants get frustrated not being able to find the right clients, and a lot of VAs causing frustration for clients who just can't find the right VA. They're not able to really be successful, even though they thought if they hired a VA, they would be. So how do we fix that trend? How do we get back to a point where we're hiring great VAs and VAs are heavily engaged and getting well paid and everyone's happy and the business is growing and it's a win-win for both the client and the VA? That's the focus of this next series that I'll talk to you about. So we're going to cover topics like the hyper-competitive marketplace. There's never been more virtual assistants out there. So this means that there's a lot of people out there that aren't very good. And for various reasons, lack of training, lack of work ethic, lack of being able to focus on something. And there's never been more clients who need virtual assistants. There's never been more small business in the United States that are struggling, that are trying to grow, that are trying to get market share, that are trying to make a profit and need help in doing so. So we have this hyper-competitive marketplace. That'll be a big topic for discussion. Number two, I'll talk about how everything to everyone no longer works. The idea used to be hire one VA that can be your right hand and do everything in your business. And those are really, really unicorns. They're very, very hard to find. At the same time, as a virtual assistant, you want to try to do whatever you can to find work. So you're trying to say, I can do anything for anyone. But that doesn't work either because no one wants mediocre work. In 2024, we've got to find ways to get people that are really good at something to work with people that really need that something. And we need to make sure that we're kind of micro-focusing our skill sets and our requirements so that we're hiring the right VA and it's a win-win. So we'll talk about how everything to everyone doesn't work. Number three, we'll talk about how all brands look the same. So I've noticed over the last couple of years that everyone's using Canva. Everyone's trying to create IG stories and reels. Everyone's on TikTok trying to figure out how to just create. And nobody's really thinking about how do I create in a way that speaks to me. So as the VA, how do you differentiate yourself so that you get the attention and you don't look like every other VA out there? And as a client, how do you find the right VA that helps you get attention so you don't look like every other person in your space, every other business competing in the same market? You want to differentiate yourself. So we'll talk about how everything to everyone does not work, and we'll talk about how all brands look the same. They kind of go hand in hand. And then we'll talk about number four. We'll talk about how people have had too many false promises, right? So VAs thought they were going to have an easy way to get rich, have a good life working from home, thought it would be easy, thought they could just learn a few things on YouTube and boom their VA, take a couple trainings. Not that simple. To be successful as a virtual assistant takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work to find clients and a lot of work to keep clients. It's actually a hard job. But if you do it right and your expectations are set, you'll be very successful. Also, for business owners, you thought you could hire a VA and that solve all your problems. People kept telling you, hire a VA and you can just sit back and your business will be on autopilot. I have people that come and have requirements where basically they want 3 or 4 full-time employees in one part-time VA, and it's just a recipe for disaster. So too many false promises. People thinking things are going to happen, thinking that they're going to be able to do things that they want to do, and they don't succeed. So it's created a lot of negativity and a lot of tried that before, didn't work. So we're going to talk about that kind of stuff and how do we get through that. And then finally, we're talking about how to be more realistic in our expectations, right? So what is a fair wage? How much should a VA earn? How much should a client pay? What's value? And then how do you make sure that things are long-term? How do you start with a couple things and level up? How do you build for success? These expectations are something that really goes sideways. And my primary focus in my business has always been to kind of level set expectations so the VA and the client get what they're going to do so they have a win. so they can grow together. And I've had several relationships that have lasted several years because I constantly work with the VA and with the client to make sure that they're always in sync and on the same page. So these are what I'll talk about in this new playlist, Navigating the VA Landscape. I want to thank you for following. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. But I want to thank you for following these videos because I think that as we start 2024, we got to cut through the noise. There are so many VAs out there, so many ways for VAs to get training, so many ideas on how to get a job. There are so many VAs that clients can't figure out where to start, and there are so many needs, small business owner needs, so many needs that you want to find the right VA for. So this video series is for you. So thank you for your time. Now get out there and be awesome.